your first time to Denmark?
I gotta be honest, I usually try to avoid clean, orderly countries without massive social problems. I'm here for you, man. If you're not the poster boy for the entire country, you should be.
We go, no?
Yes, let's go.
Yeah.
You are saddled with the weight of best restaurant in the world. I know, this looks totally bogus. It's fantastic.
You need to work 20 hours a day in order to achieve this.
Come on, guys, they're waiting now.
Let's go.
It's so much less about ooh, you know? It's about bang. And it's dun, elements, thoughts, elements. What places have you been you can compare to Noma?
No place. It's a whole different world.
Beautiful!
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a place. A very special place. A clean, orderly, and nice place. Usually, I hate clean, orderly, and nice. The air smells fresh and physically fit. Statuesque blondes pedal through streets lined by old buildings and canals.
I read something very disturbing on my way here. Apparently, Denmark is like the happiest place on Earth. They actually keep stats on this. And
Yeah.
apparently, Denmark is far and away #1.
Yeah.
The happiest, most content place on Earth.
Well, the colleges are the same for everybody.
Free?
Free?
That's
And
un-American, man. That's socialism, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, here, that's not a bad word.
Okay, they pay like 60% of their earnings in taxes. But then they do get things like free health care, 52 weeks maternity leave on full pay.
When I had my kids, 2 rooms down, that's where the future king had his kids.
There's no like Beyonce suite.
No, we're all there, and we're all the same. And that makes people more happy.
That looks like a nightmare to me.
By the way, it would be helpful to point out, this show is not about Denmark. It's not about Copenhagen. I'm here for one man
Food this way.
All right.
and one restaurant.
And then we can start.
Yes, chef. Two scalpel going up?
Yes, chef.
3 2 scalpel going up?
Yes, chef. Go, 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 go.
Noma is the place where Rene Redzepi pretty much changed the whole world of gastronomy.
Let's go.
2 baskets, please.
Yes.
For 3 years in a row, it was named the world's best restaurant by a jury of chefs and food writers who presumably know such things.
Come on with those 2. They're sitting waiting. Come on.
Wow.
Nordic coconuts, also at the same time as a little bouquet of flowers.
Danish coconut. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
And so, the question, how does this nice, down-to-earth guy rise to the top of the food world, all while presenting things that no one could possibly think would taste that good?
Let's have a bite of flowers.
Oh, man.
Oh, they're delicious.
I'm not sure, but that's what I'm here to find out.
Have they had the moss? Let's give them the moss.
Yes, chef.
We know that Noma has been said to be the world's best.
This is a dish that is 20 man-hours of work a day.
And what we've heard outside of Denmark is that Rene sources his ingredients exclusively from the Nordic region, mostly from within 60 miles of the restaurant.
Get a better one than
Need
this.
better vessel quickly, come on. Yes, chef.
Think about that. Denmark is not exactly the Mediterranean. Summers are short.
Service.
What Rene and crew started, what they're famous for, is foraging for ingredients.
Reindeer moss with last year's harvest of sep mushrooms.
And color me dubious.
Did you ever eat moss before?
No. That is incredible.
Wow.
There's no way that this is going to look convincingly delicious on TV, but it is really delicious.
Alessandro Porcelli is Italian, living in Denmark. He worked at Noma before starting Cook It Raw, the roaming Boy Scout camp for the world's best chefs.
I met Rene in 2004. Basically, the restaurant was just open.
4 on 6. Yeah.
10 years after Noma's inception, Rene is arguably the most famous Dane since Hamlet. And so, it's happily ever after, right? Not quite.
It's funny that all this happened actually in Copenhagen. You have all these rules about the Jante law, you know, where you have these guidelines where you never
wanna
brag
stand
about
out.
yourselves. It's all understated.
The law of Jante, which discourages attention-seeking, is part and parcel of living in Denmark. Danes who think too big are often cut down by their peers.
It's hard to really make an effort. And if you stand out too much, you know, get off your horse.
Okay, so let's say you start a restaurant and you announce right away, well, this restaurant's going to be different than anybody else's restaurant. You see where I'm going here. Are people mean originally, or they talk about you? Do they?
I mean, how much foul language can I use on this show? We very quickly became the big band of the seal.
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 People can be so cruel. Do Danes like this place? No? I mean, they're proud
They
of
accept it.
It's turned the attention of the whole world.
Yeah, exactly.
Fire 3 sorrel, please.
Yes, chef.
To tell the truth, food nerds, captains of industry, celebrities, you name it, have been flocking here for years.
Chef 4 sorrel coming up now.
Some waiting months for a reservation in the 45-seat restaurant.
So we have a sorrel leaf. It's marinated in a grasshopper garum. The idea is you want to use it like a spoon and sort of scoop all of this green snow, which is made from nasturtium leaves.
Damn, that's good. The technique, you don't notice it. You notice the flavor. It's, holy, that's delicious. That's really intensely, it's like I've never tasted a green vegetable that good.
So we're in Tivoli. You see, there's like lawns, people sit down, the sun is out, the birds are singing. This is where happiness was invented.
Tivoli Gardens, it is said, is the second oldest amusement park in the world.
Stroll in here, watch the pantomime that's hundreds of years old. I've only been here once with my kids, actually. I work all the time, unfortunately. Well, this is usually the place where young kids take their first date.
How old is this thing?
I don't know, man. This is made for kids. Does it feel a bit wobbly?
Totally, and ancient. I'm a little uncomfortable.
You see, Copenhagen is dangerous, too.
Yeah, right? Whoa.
There you go.
Damn, you know, this is not bad.
So there you see, just this little tiny park in the smack
It's
center of
not
the city.
huge, is it? It's all just squished right in the middle.
It's like Singapore, you know, all dense together. And
Yeah, but
it's-
no death penalty.
no, only the sort of the public humiliation if you f up with something.
Oh, here we go. Firearms, apparently, it's okay here.
You know, I've actually never fired a firearm in my life.
Really?
And I've never driven a car.
You've never driven a car?
Never driven a car.
Okay, this is good. This will be empowering. This could change your whole life.
Yes.
Every time you fire, you need to reload. It's important.
You don't need to tell him he's American.
All right.
Man, so is this a competition?
Call it what you like.
All right.
Blow it up.
Oh, this is exciting.
I think we definitely have a winner here.
Oh my God. Not a single one? I have to go.
That's what we call a nice grouping.
This is like a public school, you know, shooting range.
After this, we're going to steal a car, and I'll teach you to drive.
Yeah. Come on, guys, they're waiting now.
Let's go.
Familiar with this one at all?
No.
So traditionally, it's served around Christmas time. We call them able skewers.
You got a little fish rammed right through. I love it.
Isn't it sweet?
And there's a pickled cucumber in the middle.
That's great.
Is it just awesome?
Very traditional flavors.
There's all these old school restaurants that have been here for hundreds of years. The herring, the rye bread, the smoked fish, the traditional stuff, you know? There we go. Thank you, my good man. Welcome to the happiest place
On Earth.
on earth.
Oh, there we go.
All right, smoked eel, fjord shrimps,
Pickled herring.
pickled herring. These tiny little shrimps, it's one of the few seasonal offerings that Danes look forward to. Our eating traditions are not that big here. Historically, we've eaten for survival. It was fuel to us.
Lutherans were not exactly the most fun bunch. It was sinful to take too much pleasure in food. You know, if you're sitting at the table going, oh my God, that's so good, ooh, that's delicious, you're already going down the slippery slope to who knows what other kinds of behaviors.
You know, my father's an immigrant here. I'm not even full Dane.
Your father was Macedonian?
Yeah.
Mother?
From the former Yugoslavia.
And then you left Yugoslavia at what age?
14. People make fun of me when I say I've never driven a car, but I never had a Coca-Cola until I was like 17. It just wasn't in a small little village where there's 2 cars, you know? The first food memory I have is also from there, and it was my father. And the day before, we'd been to the mountain picking chestnuts. And I remember so vividly as a little child, I woke up and I saw my father just roasting chestnuts. And then I started hearing all these things popping. 20 minutes later, they were in a bowl, and my aunt, she poured milk that she'd just taken from the cow, and we had that for breakfast. It was so natural that we went to the mountains for chestnuts. You grew your food yourself. These sort of experiences growing up, they really shaped the type of cook I am today. So now you have a generation of young cooks like myself, and they're all over town, looking for the flavor of a region. What is the flavor? What are the ingredients that we have, and how do we combine them in a way that tells something of where you are in the world?
Between me and nature, there's not so much love. Nature is where bugs live.
Port turbot called up? Yeah.
But I'm learning reluctantly, over time, how much I've been missing.
We can present it now?
Rene's proclivity to scrounge around for flavorful stuff that grows wild
Welcome to the beach. What do you think of a good old Danish beach?
pretty much kick-started the restaurant world's now widely emulated practice of foraging.
You see all this grass, but actually these are succulents. We're doing beach cabbage for them, no?
Yeah.
Rene, since the beginning, is thinking about how to put into a plate what's around you, basically.
Well, you need to be like a 19th century naturalist if you're going to do this.
Yeah,
you're
you
going
need
play
to be a
this.
botanist, a naturalist.
Chew on this. You taste cilantro?
Yes, the cilantro.
Disguised as grass. Here, here, here. It's everywhere. Good to go?
Service?
Service?
So we have some roasted turbot. The roe is on the top there. Beach plants, beach cabbages around the outside.
So I know these ingredients. We were plucking them yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow.
This should be the future, no? Your mama cooked these dishes. Let's go and forage, guys. Come on, kids.
Oh, there you go. Look. Sea beans. Salty, juicy, crunchy.
I mean, if I were looking at this at home, I would very much be thinking, come on, man, it's grass. It's grass.
Yeah.
It's green stuff that all tastes the same.
Yeah.
It totally doesn't.
It totally doesn't.
Now, is some of this stuff poison?
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten something that
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
On-the-spot diarrhea.
really?
Oh.
The dark side of foraging.
2 fish heads.
Yes, sir.
Growing your own food, finding your own food.
Yeah.
That was life in Macedonia.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people right now, it is an affectation.
The worst moments, the worst meals are when people are just following a sort of a culinary trend. And they will see, oh, there's an edible, but it tastes like but it's edible and it's foraged, therefore I put it on the menu. You know, it's gonna go on the fish no matter what. 2 pikehead walking, beautiful.
Oh, now.
Like heads with the beach ribs that you guys foraged from yesterday.
Ah,
Okay.
you just pick off every little bit. But I think even at its most ludicrous manifestation, surely it is a positive thing that people are actually starting to look around and see where shit grows.
It still is good because people are being connected to the place they're in. What's edible, what's not? What is there to eat? Oh, here we go. Jackpot. This is a mustard, beach mustard. In 3 weeks, this is gone, new things come out.
This is our bread serving. It's a sourdough bread that's made with a Swedish grain called ulen. And this is a cow's milk butter that has not been churned all the way. It's called virgin butter.
Oh, God.
This is amazing, huh?
Butter like this, where you can pretty much taste what the cow ate. You know, anybody who's milked a cow, this is a flavor of childhood. Fact is, there aren't a lot of people left where I come from, who've milked a cow.
And that's why it's becoming more important to what these guys are doing. It's the relationship also that they have with the farmers, the relationship we have with the soil.
So this is Søren's farm, but we always say our farm. We feel like it's our place.
Søren is Rene's primary supplier of farmed meat and vegetables.
Look at the soil here. You see all the mussel shells?
Yeah.
These are shellfish because this used to be marshland.
Like Rene, he's not your ordinary Dane, and his farm is unlike the others around here.
This used to be monoculture.
Yeah, 15 hectares with carrots.
Just carrots. And now, how many, what are you growing?
Between 120 and 170 different things.
True, there are tractors and rows where potatoes and carrots grow. But much of what's happening here is a mix of wild and cultivated.
This is wild angelica. That's chives, the purple flowers here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Wild onions. And you could grow them. Here, let's grow some for next year. There you go. The first time you come up here, you go into this and it's like, a flower garden. And he will say, no, this is the leek field.
They're so nice.
You're touching them like they're jewels.
They are jewels.
Let's grab a bunch of these for lunch, no? Is leeks going? Yeah.
The pressure in farming is to have a monoculture and to provide year in, year out what you know is going to sell and what the market demands.
Do you mind grabbing a few of these plants? They're going to grow up, so don't take the root.
It's very, very hard for a small guy to say, you know what, I'm not going to grow carrots anymore. I'm going to grow a whole bunch of different interesting things, and I'm going to grow them as well as I possibly can. Yeah, this is pretty much a first for me.
This is the first time you fall to your knees for a green plant?
Yeah.
How long for leeks?
2 leek up, 2 leek up.
Do you think we'll ever reach the point where guys like Søren will be in a very good place?
I think that if we cut the middleman, get the producers, the farmer, to talk directly with a guy like Rene.
Nobody ever teaches you that the symbiosis you need to have intact is with these people that grow the food. You're never taught that as a cook, which is strange.
No, get a better one. Can we have another leek that looks more similar in size to this one, please?
Okay, let's go.
And I think also, respect to your chefs, how should you know anything about this landscape? I've been here for 30 years and I just know small, tiny part.
Grilled leeks.
So we just scoop it up.
I think we picked these yesterday.
Ah, yeah?
Oh, man. That is the meatiest, most umami-filled vegetable I've ever had.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll cook this for lunch, spiced with the tartar. Chop that up in the freshly slaughtered meat from one of Søren's cows.
Hi.
Hey, what else?
The asparagus?
Yes, let's do that. I'm hungry, man.
Two asparagus, fella? Yeah.
Asparagus, beautiful.
Let's go.
We have sauce up, please?
Yes.
And then just one dollop in there in the middle, okay? Yes.
We roast the asparagus with this pine. That's why we have the branch. Do not eat that branch, however.
Okay.
So underneath is a small pile of tender spruce shoots, grilled green asparagus sauce, and a little bit of fresh cream to finish.
That is incredible.
Wow. The flavor of this, huh?
So this is actually beer made from asparagus.
It's tasty.
Yeah. What's the meat?
Veal.
Veal? What was the name of the cow?
763 00330.
Chef, do you want to do the tartare?
What are you thinking? Just hack up the meat?
Hack up the meat. Ooh, it already looks good. I'm gonna go on the asparagus and on the leeks. Clean them up, grill them. A little sun lotion on these guys. Søren, do you want to do a potato salad?
Yeah.
What should we put on the tartare? Wild onions. Bit of this horseradish. That's the chives, chive flowers.
Okay, a little salt on the leek and a little cheese?
Yes. That's the angelica. Take all these flowers and we mix that in. Some vinegar. Elderflower vinaigrette for the grilled asparagus.
A few eggs from my mother's 3 birds.
Done.
Didn't take us 10 minutes, but we have 4 courses. This is like 3 Michelin stars, chef.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, oh man.
Perfect. Look at that.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
And that egg. What an egg.
Yeah.
Do you eat like this all the time?
I bring my kids up here. All the staff comes here often. This becomes your reference frame for how fresh an asparagus should be. Just harvest, just cooked, just eaten.
I mean, I think a place like this, in addition to being the best restaurant in the world and whatever else, it offers a real possibility. There is food around that, with a little effort, or a lot of effort, you can make into something really delicious.
There is the hard thing, yeah? Change the way the people think about food. Not just the 35 people that can afford to come and eat here in Noma.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you, chef.
It's magnificent, yeah.
Magnificent.
Look, there are always going to be some people out there who hate the very idea of your existence.
Yeah.
From the very minute they even think about you.
Yes.
There's a Danish expression for not wanting to stand out, not wanting to talk about yourself too much.
That's called jentelån, the law of jente.
Wow.
So it's yeast?
Yeast product.
It's beautiful.
Here we are, 10 years ago. We're opening. We're saying we're going to try something else. 2 lobsters on hold.
2 lobster roll called out. Yeah.
Stuff like that in that time was just unheard of. It was beyond stupid. And why do you even try? Why are you fiddling with stupid concepts?
Wild lobster claws and nasturtium petals.
Wow.
Look at this.
This is very complex. I know in the beginning, a lot of Danes were calling him the seal.
Yeah.
And they were laughing at it.
It's a very new thing, you know, food here in Denmark. It's not something that they had like we have in Italy or they have in France.
No, here, it's a different story. You have a huge part of people that are still so much in love in the old world.
4 lobster called out?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I've even been told that I have fascist tendencies in me. There's been op-eds written in Danish papers.
Vinegar, please.
Linking what we do at the restaurant to some of the most horrible moments in recent history.
So this is the tail of the lobster with a little bit of the head juices underneath these nasturtium leaves. Use your hands.
I will. It's luxurious. So how's it changing?
That's what's interesting. In 10 years, it's really gone from, you know, the seal to igniting a new confidence in this city, in this part of the world, that I never grew up with.
A possible forebearer to this new challenging of the status quo could be found right in the heart of the straight-laced Danish capital.
I think Christiania is one of the most awesome places in the world, which is not very jantelorish to say.
A well-established enclave of hippie anarchist squatters. Sounds about as attractive as being sentenced to life at a fish concert. But there are some interesting features of Christiania.
There's no government to intrude on your personal freedom. You're free to behave in as eccentric or normal a fashion as you wish.
Here, I mean, you can be the freak that you are, and if you want to spend your day talking to a tree, you can do that without being frowned upon.
Rasinga and his friend Joker are in local government, such as it is.
Christiania has been here for some 40 years. It was a military area that was abandoned, and it was then occupied by squatters and hippies. Despite the fact that the different governments didn't really appreciate what was going on here, nobody actually had the will or the strength to put people out.
Who picks up the trash?
We do.
What about the essentials? You know, electric, water?
We buy it from providers, but we do it as a commune, as a collective. We pay only one bill.
But what I like about living here is the fact that my kids get to walk around the streets without worrying about being run over by a car.
There's no hard drugs and no cars running in the streets. I mean, it's like a little village. It's very secure.
Are you a hippie?
He is.
You have 2 eggs smoking now? Yeah, chef.
So right down there we have Pusher Street, which is probably the most famous part of Christiania.
The green section, right?
Yeah.
We buy weed and hash oil, hashish.
Yeah.
I would never do that as a responsible journalist, but I'm interested in investigating it. Pusher Street, it's a beloved institution here. You are free to see an array of cannabis products.
Theoretically, by the way, marijuana is, like, not legal in Denmark.
But there's a great tolerance for marijuana here, and I think that's because it isn't really harmful. People who smoke too much, maybe they pass out.
Right. Oh, quail egg cooked in hay. Wow, that's like the greatest thing ever. That's a perfect dish.
Perfect dish.
I want more of those.
Yeah.
So here you go.
Thank you. So there's nobody in charge.
I'm in charge.
Yeah.
The only problem is everybody else is too.
Yeah.
It seems utopian.
We have the same problems as anybody, but we try to solve them in a different way.
And one of the ways we try to solve this sort of challenges is by embracing people as much as we can and trying to make space as much as we can.
Do we have 2 peas ready for table 4? Can I go with that now?
Yes.
Extraordinary. I was reading something you wrote that's very un-American in its concept, which is don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah. When we did this dish, to us, it was a very big moment because we burnt it by mistake. And then we thought, okay, it's a mistake, let's see what happens. And we cooked it, and then we had a new paste, a new sort of spice for us.
That's indescribably delicious. All cookbooks, particularly American cookbooks, are written from the point of view that if you only follow this recipe, it will turn out great.
You're safe. This is what we try to talk about every day in the kitchen with the cooks on Saturday night projects.
Apparently, this is when you invite members of your crew to put up a new dish for comment.
After each grueling work week concludes, cooks from every level of the brigade stay late to submit their newest culinary ideas.
Everybody's in on this?
Everybody's in on it.
This could be a very uncomfortable, you're hanging it out.
This forum is about failure, so yes.
All right, let's see what you got.
Luke, go for it.
At no point in my career would I have wanted to subject myself to this kind of mass scrutiny.
No, but watch, it's not bad, huh? It's not bad. It can be bad. I mean... What do you have for us, chef?
A fermented apple tea. This one I did with razor clam and some chamomile as well.
There's this lamb's tongue, cooked for 10 hours at 70 degrees. Kohlrabi, just fermented with water and 2% salt. And this is sea buckthorn juice with brown butter.
So what we have here, sep ice cream with some barley.
Mushroom ice cream and fermented barley sauce.
Yes.
I think the lamb's tongue is a great ingredient. Personally, I'm not getting what the kohlrabi brought to the party.
The razor clams are a bit sweet, and with this broth, it's quite sweet, so it becomes very one-dimensional.
Why can't you do that for your next project? Dry salt versus brine salt.
She uses elements that I would never use in a dessert, and it tastes good. I like it.
Given a choice between a traditional dessert and this, I would be very, 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 very happy with this. I thought it was delicious, really delicious.
Thank you. Who's next? Whoa!
So here I have a dish of strawberries and cream. I decided to go out my bike and see what I could get. So all the flowers that are here, the lady let me pick them in her garden. So I have strawberries that are pickled in rose vinegar and a creme fraiche at the base that's been infused with burnt roses and rose pollen.
Do we just clap or?
And then that might well end up on the menu?
No. This is not about putting things on the menu. No, I mean, if somebody makes a masterpiece, it's their masterpiece.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
Isn't it your historical imperative as the chef to take his good work and innovation and put it on the menu and take credit for it as your own? I mean, that's the way it's been done for centuries.
This is not the point here.
The pursuit of enlightenment and knowledge is its own reward?
To me, yes. Is that it? Yeah. Cheers, everybody. Table 4. It's being cleared. Let's start dressing.
Yeah.
They're waiting.
Yes, chef.
Come on.
Yes. I mean, now I travel a lot and I meet chefs and say, you know, I want to be #1 in the world. And I was in Mexico, now in Yucatan. They don't even know how to make a tortilla. They don't even know what a tortilla is made of. They kind of lose touch with what tradition is.
That looks good, man. messy, chef. It's good for you to try this, the herring, the rye bread, the smoked fish, the traditional stuff, you know? Because when you grow up as a cook here, you think of this as old-fashioned. You don't see it as an inspiration for your future endeavors as a cook. All right, fellas. The next thing we serve you is flatbread. Very traditional here. And we spice ours with shoots of spruce and oak tree.
This is amazing. Amazing.
Damn, that's good.
Sophistication, but it's something that is so down to earth flavor-wise.
No doubt about it. That's like both really classic and totally new. How you doing? How are you?
Hello, it's Nils. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm learning. Danes may be stiff, but they sure as hell know how to drink. Niels is a Danish Renaissance man. Drinker, sailor, charter tour boat operator, musician.
So you're a neighbor of Rene
Of Noma.
and Noma.
Noma. I have known him from the absolute beginning. And when Noma, can we start now?
Yeah, we're going.
We're going.
Well, what did you think of him when you first met him?
I saw an ordinary man. He fight for what he think about.
He had a vision.
Yeah, a vision. He have a vision and fight for this.
All right, it's very close for two bitters.
Yes!
Nice done, chef.
Oh, there we go.
What is that? Oh. Look at the beautiful girl there.
Cheers.
Here we go.
What was that?
Gammeldansk.
What's in it?
It's Gammeldansk.
I know, but what is that?
I don't know exactly how you make that, but it has been drinking in Denmark for many years.
So we have Gammeldansk.
It's a liquor.
So it's a Danish bitter that has about 30 different herbs or so. So we made an ice cream with dehydrated milk and sorrel.
It was delicious.
Oh, exceptional.
Oh, here we go. Gammeldansk. It is good.
It works.
It is good. It works. It works. Look at this. Where you come from? New York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you know? What?
It works. He said.
Thomas, can you come and help me dress here? Yeah, don't let them touch each other, okay? Yeah, just there. Perfect.
What would traditional Danish food be for you?
Potatoes.
2 potatoes.
And some kind of meat and sauce.
Did you taste the sauce?
I did taste the sauce.
Yeah?
I tasted it.
Hello, fellas. We fermented barley, and we cooked the potatoes in that and served with sturgeon roe from the lakes of Finland.
Wow, man. Oh.
It has a grappa homemade whiskey.
After it, yes.
I know this flavor well.
One more time. Here we go. What are we doing? What are we doing? Going to? I'm a little bit hungry.
The famous, the Danish national late night dish. John's hot dog?
Yes.
I'll have the deluxe.
Yeah.
This one is an organic sausage.
Organic sausage.
Made with wild garlic and bacon.
Sounds good to me.
He make his own mustard.
Wow.
Onions and pickled.
Whoa.
Here we go.
That's a classic one.
All my happiest moments seem to revolve around meat in tube form. That's superb. That's really good.
Don't film me when I eat that.
Now, we'll only the moments when we look good. These onions are awesome.
I think that's the way. We have to make something new.
But respect the classics.
This is what we should transmit to the young guys, you know? The passion to present something on a plate that is delicious, but also make sense of your own environment, but it's authentic, it's yours. If you don't have a clear understanding about what tradition is, how can you innovate?
Come to Copenhagen, Noma for lunch, John's for dinner.
And
Somewhere in the middle, yeah.
Gammeldansk and beer.
Right.
Welcome to the Nordic Food Lab.
Just across from Noma, located in a converted houseboat, an entity separate from the restaurant. A place Rene set up to further ideas and experimentation.
Ben is one of the guys in charge here.
Nutmeg's a bit hallucinogenic, so I decided to make something ammonia-rich with lots of nutmeg, leave it for a while, and then we'll see what happens.
So it's hallucinogenic fish sauce, potentially?
In theory. Some of the things that we're doing really, I mean, they are just pure experimentation for experimentation's sake.
And it's pretty damn delicious.
I like that.
It's another food item on your shelf. And me as a cook, that's what I want. These are 2 years old cherries with the cherry pits and wild roses. 5 years old wild roses now, very deep, intense.
This is amazing. Amazing.
But they're not just thinking about what tastes good now, they're talking about, will this taste good in 2 years if we ferment it or age it or dry it?
We like to ferment it. We add bacteria to it so that it needs 3 years of time and then it becomes utter delicious.
The diversity available to us through looking at fermentations and looking at different bacteria, looking at different molds, yeasts, all sorts, is absolutely enormous.
There is stuff rotting in jars and vats to these experiments in fermentation and flavor. You're all doing some sinister down there, I know.
So this is a ferment of Chenopodium, a wild type of spinach which grows around here and no one uses them. Maybe even reminiscent of foie gras.
Serious foie.
Serious foie. And this is from a weed that grows everywhere. If you do it with gooseberries, like to ferment gooseberries, you get golden drops of perfection. Can we have 2 berries on 4?
Yeah.
All right, fellas, the next thing we serve you is the dried-in juices from last year's harvest of blackcurrant, and then we wrap it in wild roses that we've had in vinegar for 2 years now.
Oh, lovely. Acidity, creamy.
It's like super powered.
What?
I need to ask about this.
You need to ask about this. Well, this is pretty interesting. This is born out of a desire to study mummification. Everyone used to eat mummies, apparently. They were considered a panacea. So this has been cured with resins, alcohol, spices, with honey, with propolis, all kinds of things that would have been used in a mummification embalming process.
Let's taste it.
Let's taste it.
There you go.
So it's quite moldy.
You mean that in a positive way?
I don't know. I mean, it's an experiment, you know, like, I mean, it's a 6-month-old piece of roe deer, so I suppose it's somewhat inevitable.
It's not unpleasant.
It's interesting.
No. Tastes like Egyptian.
Please.
Yeah. We just had one project funded. Deliciousness as an argument for entomophagy. So deliciousness as an argument for eating insects.
Wow.
Here we have grilled onions, fermented pears, and salt made out of wood ants.
Wood ants.
Wood ants, yeah.
Cool. And that's delicious.
It's amazing.
You know, some of the ants we've been experimenting with, that's like you eat it, it's like zing, it's like excitement in your mouth, party, everyone's invited. A lot of the other ones, they need a lot of work. Here we've got wax moth larvae mousseline, which is with hazelnuts, and then you've got a morel sauce. This is bee larvae. They're like little lumps of fat.
It tastes like insect.
Yeah.
Next taste, fermented fish, herrings. We stuff them with molded grains, and these have been here since January. So it's been filleted and then put with juniper and with lingonberries, a little squirt of aged apple vinegar.
Wow.
It's delicious.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
That's lethally good.
Yes.
I can think of 10 different ways I'd like to eat that.
Definitely.
Standing up, sitting down, on bread with beer.
Being fed. So it sometimes takes a while to stumble across these things, but slowly but surely they come out of the woodwork.
Let's have some crayfish.
Delicious.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Skål.
Midsummer.
Midsummer's Day.
Longest day of the year.
The Danes, to mark the Midsummer's Eve, gather and partake in traditions.
And the sun comes out, we salute you.
Like enjoying picnics, building bonfires.
There's a fire.
Oh, yeah.
There's gonna be a fire.
And burning witches.
We made those fires back in the days to keep the witches away because they thought all the witches was meeting on these solstice and blah, blah, blah.
Okay, where's the pork?
Is this roast pork?
Very, very traditional. Without this, Danes could not live.
So we have a pork skin and chocolate with freeze-dried blackberries.
Cool.
For you guys to share.
Thank you. Wow, that's wild.
That's wild.
It's the flavor of Denmark, right? Roast pork with crackling, red cabbage, pickles.
Man, that is a serious sandwich.
That's
Oh, that's just amazing.
Oh, a rainbow. This is almost too pretty. And there you go.
Whoa. Super cool, huh?
Why don't we have the strawberries?
The triple cream, huh? It's delicious, man.
Yeah.
So we have a wild blueberry dessert. So this is a sandwich, one for each of you, and the first of the wild strawberries. for you to
Oh,
enjoy.
beautiful.
Look at this. Like a picnic in the park, yeah?
Wow.
So the Midsummer Day in Denmark.
Wow. Look at the witch. Burn, witch, burn.
Vi elsker vort land, når den sinede jul tænder stjerner i træet med glans i hvert øje.
How's it, guys? You done?
Terrific, thank you.
Unbelievable.
Look, I've eaten a lot of great restaurants around the world, and there was still a little part of me that was saying, you know, this is going to be bull. The guy is out in the field yanking weeds out of the ground. I really didn't expect it to be as good as it was. It was delicious. It was amazingly delicious for me.
Amazing.
Yes, I thought it was amazing.
It's not just about coming up with the greatest concept, it's just assembling what is out there in a new and beautiful, authentic and delicious way.
He has single-handedly transformed everybody's understanding of Nordic cuisines.
Where all the dishes, they tell a little bit of a story, you know, of the land, the tradition.
But always delicious. Always delicious first. He may be an ordinary guy, grounded, comes from a poor family, but he has big dreams. He wants to change the world.
Yeah, and we can change it. Never forget that. We can do that.
We go up this beautiful mountain, this incredible town. It goes back to the 12th century. People trudge up the hill to the beautiful church to take the walk that Michael Corleone took. Now and forevermore, it will be sort of the Godfather theme park, where they're just playing the Godfather theme over and over.
I think most thoughtful Sicilians are disgusted by this.
Imagine that, waking up every day. As one bus after another filled with Japanese tourists go up there. Oh, look, Michael Corleone got married there. Oh, it's so fantastic.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha-la-la-la-la, 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 sha-la-la-la-la.
It's one of the most beautiful places in Europe, a place whose roots are very much the roots of the town where I live. But somehow I've never been able to get it right. To tell the story, any story, of Sicily. It's the biggest island in the Mediterranean, Two main towns are Palermo and Catania on opposite sides. I've done a show in Palermo before. It was an epic goat rodeo, a failure of humiliating scale. This time, I was going to get it right. There's the Sicily we know from films, an evocative, deeply felt history that's not quite reality, but cool anyway, right? There's the simple fact of its location, tucked away under the boot of Italy, part of, but not really part of that country. Its own language, culture, its own history of Norman, Arab, Spanish, Roman, Turkish, Egyptian interlopers, all leaving their mark and their influence. I grew up in New Jersey, which was pretty much Sicily on the Hudson. The Italian Americans next door weren't from Milan, I can tell you that much. I guess what I'm telling you is, I figured this'll be easy. Villa Monaci della Terranera, a certified agriturismo, meaning it's a hotel, restaurant, and working farm that in this case produces olive oil.
How many acres of property do you have?
Tony, it's about 40 acres. It's one of the oldest organic farms in Mount Etna.
This is Guido, the proprietor.
Wow. So that's where potatoes come from.
How freaking hard can it be to make an awesome show in Sicily? Eat the nice food, drink the wine, in an idyllic villa in the countryside outside Catania. How low impact can it get? So the plan was, we go fishing. We get some fresh octopus, maybe some cuttlefish, explore the bounty of the surrounding waters, all while working on our tans. With a local chef, fisherman, man of the sea. He's experienced. He knows where to get it good.
Do you like sea urchin?
Oh, you love it. How do you say it in Italian?
Ricci.
Ricci, yes.
Ricci di mare.
One of my favorite things to eat.
This is Turi, my host.
What else is out there? Octopus?
Octopus, now it's also cuttlefish.
Oh, yeah.
And I
sepia.
like sepia, bravo. I want to try to find some small abalone, we call occhio di bue.
Nice.
And also, there's a clams. Here the water is still cold. I think they will be really full.
I'm thinking, really? Are these prime fishing waters? I don't know about this. With all this boat traffic and all these people and so close to the action, I can't see much of anything living down there.
Okay, perfetto. We anchor here.
But I am famous for my optimism, so I dutifully suited up for what was advertised as a 3-hour cruise. So I get in the water and I'm paddling around and splash. Suddenly, there's a dead sea creature sinking slowly to the seabed in front of me. Are they kidding me? I'm thinking, can this be happening? Splash, there's another one. Another rigor mortis, half-frozen freaking octopus. But it goes on. One dead cuttlefish, deceased octopus, frozen sea urchin after another. Splash, splash, splash. Each specimen drops among the rocks or along the sea floor to be heroically discovered by Turi moments later and proudly shown off to camera. Like I'm not actually watching as his confederate in the next boat over hurls them into the water, one after another. I'm no marine biologist, but I know dead octopus when I see one. Pretty sure they don't drop from the sky and then sink straight to the bottom.
How many we have octopus? 3? Yeah. Okay, I try to get some patelle now. And also some occhio di bue, small abalone.
Strangely, everyone else pretends to believe the hideous sham unfolding before our eyes, doing their best to ignore the blindingly obvious.
No, lascialo andare, non fare più nient'altro, lascialo andare.
Then they gave up and just dumped the whole bag of dead fish into the sea.
Sei colori, eh?
At this point, I begin desperately looking for signs of life, hoping that one of them would stir, become revived. I'm frantically swimming around the bottom littered with dead things, looking for one that's still twitching so I can hold it up to the camera and end this misery. But no, my shame will be absolute. For some reason, I feel something snap, and I slide quickly into a spiral of near hysterical depression. Is this what it's come to, I'm thinking, as another dead squid narrowly misses my head? Almost a decade later, back in the same country, and I'm still desperately staging fishing scenes, seeding the oceans with supermarket seafood, complicit in a shameful, shameful incident of fakery. But there I was, bobbing listlessly in the water, dead sea life sinking to the bottom all around me. You gotta be pretty immune to the world to not see some kind of obvious metaphor.
Buona.
I've never had a nervous breakdown before, but I tell you from the bottom of my heart, something fell apart down there, and it took a long, long time after the end of this damn episode to recover.
No longer we don't need to boil. We'll be ready without it.
Ma che fai?
Lo sto rompendo tutto così diventa morbido. Vedi? Ora la pulisco. Adesso se lo mangiano i pesci. Chi lo mangia questo?
Io. Sono preso. Io voglio la Io. Quello dai a me. Io voglio la
Raw clams, abalone, and a heartwarming beach scene surrounded by a gaggle of curious and hungry kids. It was, at this point, about the only possible way for Turi to redeem himself.
Io.
Chi vuole l'ultimo?
Io.
You'll notice I'm not there. I'm sitting in a nearby cafe, pounding one Negroni after another in a smoldering, miserable rage. Our evening meal will be at Turi's place, Osteria Nero d'Avola, which is just up the hill in Taormina. But by the time dinner rolls around, I'm ripped to the... Did I mention it's my birthday? I've had 3 hours of bobbing around on a pitching boat, a couple more hours getting looped, 2 more hours lying on a sidewalk outside the restaurant while the crew hangs lights. So I'm gone, baby, gone. I don't remember any of this. Any of it.
So, how's your day today?
It's good. I went out on a nice boat trip, a little swim. I would be told later that a gentleman named Tommaso had joined me for dinner. Also, someone on the crew mentioned that his wife was present and that she didn't say much. Presumably because this was not her preferred way to spend her birthday.
Hi.
Hi.
Tony. This is my passion. I like to find an old variety of olive, and one of these is white.
So that's the original?
Yes, original. In fact, you don't find this anyplace else.
Apparently, there were these white olives, harvested from some secret tree only Turi knows about. Maybe it's next to his secret fishing hole. There was great Sicilian wine, apparently. And apparently, I drank quite a lot of it. There was bread and olive oil. Abalone served raw in the shell. Baby sardine called neonata, also served raw with a splash of citrus and salt.
And this is the baby sardine, totally raw without no much ingredients, to taste better the fish. Salute.
Thank you.
If you ask a Sicilian, right, say where you come from, the correct answer should be, I'm Italian.
What?
No, we say I'm Sicilian.
Wow. Is Sicily Italy?
Yes.
Should it be?
I don't know, but we used to have influence from Britons, Normans, Arab, Spanish. So basically we are a Mexican. We are blender.
Oh look, my octopus. I remember personally catching that one. It was a mighty struggle too. No, actually, I don't.
Polybone?
Octopus,
Yeah, the octopus.
Pretty. Oh, beautiful little shrimp. Very tender, the octopus. Very nice.
And another traditional specialty. I am told they call this tuna tartare. And cuttlefish. I recognize you, my friend.
Now, crudo like this, how traditional is this to Sicily?
I think from the part of the sea, they almost eat it raw.
Always?
Yes.
But fishermen only, fishing communities only, or in restaurants? Always,
No.
as long as you've been alive. You go to a restaurant, you see crudo like this?
No, I see crudo in the poor family.
So it's not like there's Japanese influence, but the Japanese sort of gave everybody permission to eat traditional foods, their own traditional food. What are the great mother Sicilian classic dishes?
The anchovy. Anchovy and parmigiana.
Pasta con le sarde.
Okay, that's
I think this is for me.
With the sardine.
Yeah, but it's an explosion of flour because this plate that it's Arab, born in a period when Sicily was very poor.
This I like. I even remember it. Pasta al finocchietta. Actually a true Sicilian classic made with fennel, pine nuts, saffron, and anchovy. Served alongside some sardines that have been curing in chestnuts and salt for days, then lightly fried in oil.
We have to use our hand. We have to use a hand to eat the fish.
This is
no problem.
I must have slunk back to bed somehow, collapsed into a sodden, drunken heap of self-loathing. I would ordinarily have turned on the porn channel and maybe loaded up on prescription meds. But there's no TV at the agriturismo. I love the films Godfather 1 and Godfather 2, but they had nothing to do with any organized crime from reality. They're opera, magnificent opera, but basically a morality tale about loyalty and destroying the things you claim to love and want to protect. Actual organized crime members are, generally speaking, a bunch of spectacularly uneducated, lazy-ass sociopaths who have no problem stealing from their own harder-working neighbors. Here in Sicily, their interests are less glamorous than gambling and prostitution. They are, and have traditionally been, a gigantic, parasitical organism, one that has now grown to be of near equal size as its host. Mary Taylor Cimetti is originally from New York, but she's been living here in Palermo for half a century now. She's a food writer and at one time a reformer for social justice, which is a dicey thing to be here.
You've been here all this time. Well, why?
Well, I came for a year. It was going to be a year between college and graduate school. I just finished college. I met a man, and therein lies the tale. I married a Sicilian, and I've lived here ever since.
Piccolo Napoli. It's a restaurant like a lot of others around here, except for the quality of its food.
Tell me about, where are we, first of all?
Okay. The father and mother of the present owner opened this in 1951. And there's a wonderful photograph there on the wall of the opening day. It started as really a tavern and has become a well-known and much appreciated restaurant now. It's very straightforward Sicilian cooking at its best.
We start with some typical things, the kind of things I deeply love. The kind of simple good things that make me happy. Pannelli, which is a fritter made from chickpeas. Some caponata, a sweet and sour eggplant dish, kind of like ratatouille, but more Arab in influence. A plate of olives, and some white wine produced from a small batch vineyard run by Mary and her husband.
So this is a pannelle?
Pannelle. Chickpea flour probably come in with the Arabs, maybe even earlier, because chickpeas have been around for a long time.
This is the famous caponata, about as Sicilian as it gets.
Yes, caponata and cannoli are the two internationally known Sicilian dishes.
Devi mettere prezzemolo, zio. 2 spaghetti al nero.
This is what I've been waiting for. This is what I wanted Sicily to be, something to soothe my shattered soul. It doesn't take much. A bowl of good pasta. In this case, the famous spaghetti al nero di seppia. spaghetti in cuttlefish ink. Also some calzarece al pesce spada, pasta with swordfish, eggplant, and tomatoes.
Okay.
Ah, beautiful.
Grazie, prego.
Perfect pasta. Very happy with that.
Good. I know you've been looking forward to it, so I'm glad it's good. Palermo's an expensive city for some things because the consumer is paying more so that the store can afford to pay its extortion money. The big change that has happened is that up until the mid-'80s, the late '80s, there were a great many Sicilians who thought if they were honest and didn't have anything to do with the Mafia, they could live without being affected by the Mafia. Apparently, 80% of the businesses in Palermo and 70% in the rest of Italy that pay extortion.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
But not everybody pays the bite. A small but growing coalition of businesses have joined a group called Addio Pizzo, a grassroots organization taking a stand against the Mafia's traditional, near-total control over the food chain, from farm to table.
I come out of the restaurant business in New York. You got taxed with every laundry order, every time they took your trash away. It was built in to all your basic services.
Here it's much more the going around Christmas and Easter.
Guy comes by.
The guy comes by. I mean, it's plain and simple extortion.
Given that that's a pretty straightforward situation, some of these guys who band it together for Addio Pizza, I mean, what happens? The guy shows up and says, I'm not paying you. What happens next?
Well, apparently now, the Mafia has decided that it isn't worthwhile bothering with the people who belong to Addio Pizza. There's so many others out there, and why look for trouble? How true it is, I don't know.
Right.
To belong to Addio Pizza, you have to sign a pledge that you will not pay, and that if you are approached, you will go to the police.
Right.
Then they send you to lawyers and to another organization which deals with the people who are actually having trouble. It's incredibly complicated. I mean, there are no easy answers to it.
Right.
I mean, what about Big Farm? What about some of the things that are happening on a much more legitimate level?
I mean, who's more destructive worldwide? I mean, yes, you could make a very good argument.
That's horrible.
What?
I'm upset because I'm sounding as if I'm making apologies for the Mafia. It's just, I think, what has happened, that having lived 50 years in Sicily, I'm much more skeptical than most Americans.
Right.
I don't know that...
I know what you're saying. You're saying you're not so sure that a mafia-free Italy would they be that much more functional. That's it.
No, absolutely. I mean,
I'm not so sure.
I'm not sure at all. I mean, but I am constantly amused by the fact that 45 years ago, if I said to Americans, I said, I live in Sicily. Sicily? How did a nice girl like you end up in a place like that?
Really?
Now it's on a farm in Sicily. How romantic. Oh, I envy you. So perception of Sicily
has changed.
Has changed enormously.
In 2007, there were only 160 Addio Pizza members. Now, over 800. Pretty cool considering we're talking about a group who have demonstrated no regret or hesitation in killing judges, politicians, police, prosecutors. Back to Catania. And when you're talking late-night dining options, you're talking one thing. The enticing smell of smoke wafting through the streets, a smell that's enticingly equine. I smell Rainbow Dash.
Oh no! Oh, Reggiano, vai! Yes, yes! Yes, enorme, Michael!
Anthony and Marco, a couple of Sicilians and aficionados of Macelleria Aquinas.
This is Via Plebiscito and San Cristoforo. It's one of the older side, famous, pro families of mafia, that grows in crime organization here. Then nowadays seems, yeah. Nowadays seems to be like a bit more quiet because they are all getting arrested, so they prefer to sell meat against drugs.
So right over there, you can bet on a horse.
You can bet horses, yes.
Here
People
you
like
eat
to bet horses, and here you eat the one that loses.
Right.
The loser goes on the fire. It's not a nice thing, but I mean, sometimes happens for real, huh?
Cycle of life. All right.
Buonasera, buonasera, buonasera.
So why horse? Where does this tradition come from?
From Arabs. Maybe also the Egyptians. Then we have Greeks, 750 years before Christ. Then we have Romans, because we have to say that Sicilians are big bastards. We can say that. You know? Yeah, of course, because we have been conquered by everybody. Also our dialect. There are many words that are understood by other people. If I say a Sicilian dialect word, maybe an Arab can understand me. An Italian, no, because Italian language comes from Latin. Something different. We are Sicilians before to be Italians.
Right.
Remember this.
Oh, no, I'll never forget.
Com'è bella, vero? Look, that's the fattest side of the meat. It's yellow, it's not white. When it's yellow, means that this horse has been breeded eating fresh grass.
Pronti? Procediamo? Procediamo con le mani?
Vai, poi la faccio lavare le mani.
Perfetto, ok. Like this.
Tear and go.
Yeah. Ma di vergogna.
You like the taste?
It's good.
It's a bit sweet, huh? Simple, huh? You don't need nothing. Horse meat, basically, it's loved by quite everybody here, you know?
Sì, polpette. We can have also meatballs. Anthony, we can have also horse meatball.
Well, as you wish, man. Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. I'll try anything.
It's a mix of different things, you know? Scrambled bread, Parmesan cheese, pecorino,
right?
Parsley, eggs, and of course,
and horse.
Horse.
That is very tasty.
Let's put it this way. When my daughter asks me for a pony, I'm bringing her here, pointing at that grill and saying, here's your pony. Parco dei Nebrodi is a national park, and within that is this free-range pig farm. They breed these special heritage pigs there, the black boar of Nebrodi. Combination of wild Sicilian boar and domesticated swine, thought to have been brought here from Spain long ago, this breed of pig is raising the profile of the pig here.
Smell of shit everywhere, eh? Look, they hear now the noise of the car. They will arrive. Fantastic.
Like any good-tasting, high-quality pig, the secret is largely, what were they fed? How did they live? Were they happy?
I'm a hunter. I never seen so many in once. It's like I feel...
You should be shooting something.
Yeah. È spettacolare, eh?
A poorly fed pig who lived his life in squalor, stress, and fear makes for bad pork. This is why we should treat animals well. Not just because that's the nice thing to do, but because it makes them provably more delicious.
Questo è un gran camminatore, riesce a fare roba come 30 km al giorno, per cui è un animale che vive salutare, vive bene.
Chestnuts, acorns, roots and stuff foraged from the hills, supplemented by some nice, fattening grain during the winter months, when wild food is less easy and less plentiful.
They catch here the animal only with the traps.
Right.
It's a shame that they don't let you shoot.
I like pigs. Not to hang out with, to eat. I don't have a tattoo of a pig or anything, but I like them fine. And when given the opportunity to shoot one in the brain, or see one shot in the brain, so that I may sup on its entrails and other parts, I'm down. That's what's called cheering me up from some manic depression. Bang, and this pig is like Paulie. You won't see him no more.
What's that?
Even with the brain dead, the heart still goes on beating, sort of like, pick a Kardashian. In this case, however, those last few beats of the heart are absolutely necessary to pump all that red cravi into a bucket for sanguinaccio. The salt helps keep it from coagulating prematurely.
Allora, io sto levando la fibrina.
Yeah, looking good.
And so fast, incredible.
There's a Kardashian joke there somewhere. Kim gets ready for the big day. It's date night at Chloe's house. Real housewife gets ready for summer. Grooming tips from Teresa Jeanette. I got 1 million of them. Let's hope Kanye never has to see this. Oh.
We hang now. Vai. Vai. Vai, una franticchia.
Then get to work.
Okay. Very fast, eh?
All those good bits, the lungs, kidneys, they get cooked slowly in fat with garlic, chili pepper, little wine.
Is the meat also what? The liver?
Sì, fegato, cuore, un po' di salato, vino, forse qualche poco di carne.
So it's all in the interior.
All in the interior with a little bit of fat.
That's like pork confit.
Yeah.
Ah, that's pretty.
Meanwhile, the intestinal casings get filled with blood and gently poached until creamy, bloody delicious.
Yeah. Come duro, amore.
And a nice spread of homemade cured meats, local cheese, and homemade wine. Let the party begin.
So, what do we have here? Let's identify these products. Capicola?
Capocollo.
That's the sliced
This is the prosciutto. Yeah.
Lardo.
Lardo.
Pancetta? That looks good.
Anche quello.
Guanciale.
The cheese is a local. It's a provola dei Nebrodi. This is the ricotta, and it's just cooked in the oven.
The bread?
The bread is from the uncle.
Right.
And they have also salame, and they have sausages.
And this cheese?
Perché non è un maiorchino, è una canestrato.
And what do you call the dish? L'interiore.
Yeah, the interior just on a pan.
Right. Beautiful. Interiore. That's good.
Oh, the best moment of the day.
Indeed. Oh, yeah.
What do you think about the cheese?
It's good. Yeah, but you know, for me, the ricotta, really good.
I think it's a complete country, this place. You discover Sicily in an aspect that I think that very few people know. This is incredible. Even the bread is the old lady that she made.
Oh.
You think of Sicily, you think of family, you think of food. This is more like it.
Spaghetto numero 7, Dalea! Numero 7 spaghetto, ai,
Pepe, dai, mangialo, mangialo, mangialo!
We'll stop here for the shrimp.
Catania, the early morning market. It's been going on for longer than America's had a country. It's old, I tells you.
They know you here? You shop here often?
Yeah. This is not Tommaso's first trip to the market by a long shot. His mom is a regular. She comes here almost every day.
The eggs. And you see, this is a mix up. You can find here everything. Each butcher, more likely they have their own specialty. Fresh ingredients, you know,
baby lamb.
Yeah, baby lamb, the sausage, the hamburger, the polpette. That is the pecorino Noma. At least it's about 6 months old, at least. Oh, over here. This is the place where she buy the spices for home. And the veggies.
This is what the market is best known for. seafood.
Buongiorno, caro. This one is one of the biggest resellers that we have in the fish market. You can see also the variety.
Yeah.
We consider the tuna like a pig. We don't throw away anything. See, this is typical. You can find all here.
Oh, those are the tiny, tiny little clams,
Right,
yeah?
yes. This is another thing as well.
Oh, whelks.
In Sicilian, they're called mucuni. You can see the shrimp normally still alive.
So I see cuttlefish, sepia, baby...
Yeah, baby sardine.
Swordfish.
I'm joining Tommaso for lunch today. Mom's cooking, so we gotta do some shopping.
Shirley.
Oh, buongiorno.
Buongiorno, come siamo combinato questo gambero?
They look beautiful.
Yeah, the color is beautiful. E buongiorno. Come So we'll go have a little crudo today. So the shrimp and
baby sardine.
Grazie. Buona giornata. After you. What do you want to try? Blood sausage?
Sanguinaccio.
Sanguinaccio, allora. Allora, un pezzettino per assaggiarlo.
Just blood, no onion, no spice, nothing. A little spritty, a little salt.
Condiscilo tutto, poco poco.
A little pepper.
Sì. Ben salto.
Okay. Now you squeeze it?
No. You eat the right way, yeah.
Questa sì, è italiano?
Sì.
Trippa.
Trippa, sì. Questa è la cordula.
Sì.
Oh, man.
This is the intestine rolled up. The salt.
Ah, that's good. Usually I don't like try plain. I like it in a sauce or spicy. That's good. That's very tasty. Looks like hell, tastes like heaven.
Yeah.
If you like this, you're Sicilian.
You're right.
Rivede. Parete.
I don't have any grandparents. My mom, I guess she cooks, but the last time she ever invited me for dinner was like 1972. So given that tragic, dysfunctional, too much information kind of history, is it any mystery why I'm always on the lookout for grandma? Anybody's grandma will do. Hell, I've been known to cruise rural state highways, looking for hitchhiking grannies to abduct, so they'll cook for me. And given my fragile emotional state, it makes perfect sense that I've dragooned Tommaso's mom into making me a nice lunch. Is that heartwarming or like creepy and sad?
Hey. It smells good in here.
Let's go open wine in the meantime. All right.
No, cheers.
Chin.
You need any help chopping parsleys? Ah, perfect.
For lunch, we got the shrimp and sardines from earlier at the market. But first, this.
Let's grab one.
It's like arancini, but with a hollowed-out potato, filled with cheese, breaded, and fried.
Ooh, delicious.
Basically, what we do to finish the potatoes ready and fill with all the cheese.
Yes.
The dip in the eggs to seal the potato.
Right.
And then the crumb bread and fried. My mother used to cook for everybody, even if it was midnight. My parents' house was the focus of my friends.
Right.
So when you have to do something where you want to share some time all together and they have dinner, so my mother's cooking for everybody. Because the problem here is that when she cooks, even if she knows that it's only for 5 people, she cooking for 10.
Just in case.
More caponata. This is Sicily, after all, and this is the classic starter. Also, a bread and tomato salad.
Would you like to try something?
That's old school.
We toast the bread, make it a little bit harder. And normally we do with bread at least 2 days here, two days old.
Right. It's really good. Really, really good. That's Sicily right there.
Right, yes.
Fresh shrimp sauteed in garlic,
butter, and herbs. I've noticed over time, as I travel around the world, that every great and enlightened culture, when they were confronted with a shrimp or a prawn, right away.
That is the way you see if it's fresh or not.
Yeah. So, typical day, when you were 15 years old, what did you eat for lunch?
We'll never missing pasta for lunch.
Pasta and meat, or pasta and fish?
And fish. Of course, something locally. Basically, you have to go right behind the corner to find your products. So whatever we can produce in Sicily, that's what we choose to buy.
Watch this, you're gonna zip the bone right out. Out comes all the bone. Who needs a knife? Sardines filleted neatly, sauteed in garlic and oil, a little red pepper. That's a beautiful thing, right there. Well, I'll tell you, in the other 2 hours here, I'll be speaking Italian. Well, I'll be speaking Sicilian.
Freddo no buono, caldo sì.
Yes, you have to eat it hot. This is very nice. Yeah, really, if you don't like this, there's really no hope for you.
Ah, Tommaso, diglielo, chi è che non ti piace fare queste cose? Che non ti è piaciuto?
There's something that you don't like it.
Everything is fantastic.
Tell her because
I'm so happy. This was a delicious meal to eat in this this beautiful home with some really good home cooked food.
Grazie.
My last night in Sicily. And after this, I'm going back to New York, crawling under my bed and adopting the fetal position for like 6 weeks. Can I cut some vegetables? I may look normal. Okay, I don't exactly, but I'm not barking uncontrollably or running around shrieking with my pants wrapped around my head, which is what my instincts are telling me I should be doing. To me, one of life's great joys is cheese. No, I'm eating cheese, which makes me happy, always. And drinking wine, good wine, and a hell of a lot of it. And I'll just make it over the hump with any luck at all. So we have a mozzarella here, a pepperoncino.
See. Then you can start with that one on the middle.
I will. Turi joins me for a final meal along with Antonio, Guido, and Guido's girlfriend, Ada. This is an agriturismo. This is not a concept that exists in America, but it is a concept that should exist. Okay, now please explain what it is.
Agriturismo is an hotel linked to the territory. You have to use local product, local recipe.
Penne with sun-dried tomatoes, zucchini, all from the farm. Oh man, that looks good.
Wow. Fantastic.
Whoa. Some nice rabbit, olive oil, also from the farm. More wine. I might just make it. What now? This is called coniglio agrodolce, sweet and bitter. If you talk about Italy as a whole, it is the most interesting aspect of Italian cuisine. Not just gastronomically, but philosophically, because it is a philosophical thing. Life is too good. I need a little bitterness to remind myself of the eternal tragedy of our existence.
You are right, the part sweet and sour of the life.
One final attempt before I go to extract something meaningful on what it means to be Sicilian. What's wrong with these people in the north?
People from the south are coming from this Greek stream culture, where the philosopher, while in the north, the Austrian came through, so very
that's the harshest, meanest thing anyone could say.
very practical people, and figured out that the last century, the 3 best writers in Italy are from Sicily.
Because they consider us just like a weight when there are problems.
Right.
But finally, on summer, they all come here to make vegans. It's a good thing for us, you know?
In the end, it all comes back to the Godfather. We go up this beautiful mountain. It's this incredible town. It goes back to the 12th century. There are few places on earth more beautiful. But there we are sitting, and what? It was like a Godfather theme park. Oh, look, Michael Corleone got married there. Oh, it's so fantastic.
You know, I just look at these people, you know, with the Godfather T-shirt, you know,
Oh.
on top, and I say, oh my God.
Why people get stuck on this I love the Godfather movie? Because there is this big sense of family.
Michael had many options. He destroyed his family. And everybody, everything he touched.
In a way, it's fair.
So it's fair.
Coppola did a good movie, for sure.
Coppola, he didn't f it up.
No.
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 No.